Good morning, everybody. It's Wednesday morning and it's sunny outside. I've closed my curtains because it's midday now, and I've been up since 4 o'clock this morning. I've done 2 loads of washing, cleaned my bedroom, hoovered the other bedroom, hoovered downstairs, hoovered the stairs themselves. So I've been busy, done a bit of ironing as well, which I loathe. But I've done these things because they needed to be done. And I was thinking that before I come on and talk about teenage pregnancies, which I really want to do, I'll tell you a little bit about my teenage pregnancies. Alfie and I got married in 1965, and it was just over 9 months later that we had our first child, so we didn't wait very long. And it was 2 months before my 17th birthday, our first child. Our second child was born 18 months later. Our third child was born 15 months later. We sort of slipped up because we wanted 18 months between each of them. So we were almost there. So by the time I was 20, I had 3 little children to look after. 2 boys and a girl. And I had my youngest, I was 5 months before my 20th birthday. So I had these 3 little children. Alfie was working full time to bring a wage in, to ensure we had a roof over our heads. And he's always been a good husband and supportive. And we were happy, very happy. We managed to get some money together to go from renting a property to buying a property. That was round about the time of my 21st birthday. We did that. So we moved into this property that we were buying for, our first proper house, and that was ours. And we stayed there for quite a while. Our children went to the school down the road. I made friends with a lot of people there, 2 of whom I'm still in touch with. And it was a great time. It was, how you look back and you think, God, those days. And I remember the summer of 1976 in the UK, where we had a heat wave, a real heat wave. And at that time we were getting the garden ready, putting a low fence up. Didn't want a high one because I used to talk to the neighbour next door. So we did that. And I remember trying to sit out in the garden with a book, and this old lady from next door would come across and shout, "Cooey! Cooey, are you there?" And she used to chat to me. I was very young, and it was a novelty to see a very young mum. And the lady over the road as well, and she said, "Your children are always beautifully turned out and well behaved," and they were. And it was those times that they could also go out and play. Round the corner was a cul-de-sac, a dead end. So it was safe up there for the kids to play on their bikes and stuff. And my friends lived round there, and I knew where to go to get them, and they knew what time to come back for their tea, and they would go round there, in the school holidays sometimes, or we'd go to the park, or we'd go strawberry picking with Alf a lot of time during those summers strawberry picking. Now I also remember, it sticks in my mind, I was on the bus and it was a number 1, not that that means anything to any of you, number 1 bus, and I was heading home from visiting Alfie's mum, and I was sitting on the seat here, like this here, and my eldest child was here, so I had my arm around him. My middle child was on my lap, so I had my arm around her, and my belly was out here with our 3rd child. And I remember two women coming to the end of the bus to get off, and they looked round and, oh my goodness, she said, just look at that, Madonna. And not Madonna as material girl, Madonna. And I suppose it did look sweet, it did look nice. And, you know, there were happy times. We bought, for our first baby, we bought a Silver Cross pram, which those prams, if ever you look them up, they're very expensive, and we wanted him to have the best. So the kids had that. And then the pushchairs, and Alfie insisted that our youngest child, he doesn't want to be in the pushchair now, he's too old to make him walk. And I used to feel a bit sorry for him in a way, you know, but he used to trot beside me like a good one, and he just walks for charity now and everything, you know, really strong physique, and all the kids are happy and healthy and have a good career. I don't take credit for it all. I certainly made more than my fair share of mistakes, or my fair share of mistakes. But I would say probably for the first 18 years, so things weren't too bad. And then that's when I got bit by the bug of the career bug, which made things very difficult. Things were difficult between Alf and me, I have to say. And it was my fault. I got this bob on myself, as they say, thinking I could do anything because I'd done a university course, Open University. I'd done a secretarial course. I'd done a bookkeeping course. I'd done various other qualifications, and I had got bitten by getting a career. How wrong was I? How wrong. Terribly wrong. But, you know, what's done can't be undone. And the only thing I'll say is that I think we're here on this earth to make mistakes, and I think we're here to learn from those mistakes, and taking it forward, it makes you ask, doesn't it, where is all that learning going to take you to? You've learned from your mistakes, but what benefit does it have for you? Because you're no longer in that marriage, your husband has passed away, you're no longer bringing the children up, they're all grown up, you no longer have your own mum and Alfie's mum and all that great time you used to have. It's all gone. But I do believe that we're given a second chance. I pray that we're given a second chance, you know, to look at our mistakes, accept our mistakes, be penitent for our mistakes, if you like, and wherever it is that we've gone wrong, and maybe, just maybe, we'll wake up in another mother's arms and be able to grow up and have our family all over again. I wouldn't change the man I was married to. I wouldn't change my kids. So there's something to be said for that, isn't there? So those are my teenage pregnancies, you know. You can say 17, 18 and 19 really. Best years. If you've got the support there, if you've got a husband, don't do it without one. And if you're of the mindset of being a homemaker, which I guess I was, you know, I didn't recognise it at the time, but again, in retrospect, yes, I was a homemaker, and a good one. I was only told in the last year or so that by one of Alf's sisters that Alfie's mum had said about me that Anne's a great little mother. And, you know, you get these plaudits and, you know, people see how you are and they applaud how you are, but they don't tell you. They don't communicate that you know, that you're doing well to you. And I think it's something that, certainly something that I needed. I needed a lot of, I didn't get it, by the way, not to my face. I found out subsequently that, you know, a lot of good things were said about me, and not compliments necessarily, but just, you're doing okay, Anne. You're doing well. You're doing good. And nobody said it to me, but they said it to each other. So if you've got the chance and you feel it's merited and you see somebody doing well, tell them. It doesn't have to be by the way of a compliment and over the top, but just tell them, because a little approval goes a long, long way. And I can just take, for example, Chantal and Co. Chantal, where she says she can't get herself out of bed in the morning when she's got an appointment to take BBJ to the vet. She can't get out of bed in the morning. Her whole bedroom is filthy, the whole house is filthy. The lavatories, they say that they take big poos, and if you don't use the poo word, it's disgraceful. And the plumbing's probably a mess. They've got boxes everywhere, and not only a fire hazard, but, you know, a hazard for the cats, you know, to fall on them, but she doesn't really care about the cats, does she? You know, she can say that they've got to this ripe old age. Well, yes, they have, but Nader wasn't around, was he? And since he's been around, and since you've been so engrossed in him, the appointment for BBJ gets cancelled, rebooked, cancelled, rebooked. I agree that if somebody is stupid enough to send $200 or £200 super chat, vegan for life, then they can't tell you what to do with that money because it's yours. Fair enough. But do these people not realise you are bringing in, not earning, I'll hesitate to say the word earn, but you are bringing in via YouTube $10,000 a month. What was it been bandied about recently in the super chats when you shaved all your head? You accrued about $4,000 for nothing, for bugger all. You're an absolute waste of space. How would you manage with 3 young children, even at the age of 37, a supposedly mature woman, How would you have managed? You're just so selfish. You can't look after two bloody cats. You can't look after yourself. I would love for your landlord to come and see the place that he's rented out to you, that villa, and just see how you've trashed it. Cat poo all over the carpets, boxes everywhere, the carpet stained and soiled and urine drenched, filthy bedding, plumbing that needs attention, the kitchen that's probably full of mould and filth. I'd love for your landlord to make a spot check on you with a witness, take photographs and give you notice to quit. Get your ass out of there, because you don't deserve to live in a nice place. We know you're back with Nader, Daddy. We know it was all for money. Well, some of us do anyway. And that the next big thing is coming. I'm just waiting till you start this soft porn thing, because I fully believe that that's what you're going to do. Soft porn, or maybe on OnlyFans. You've got no compunction, no reserve about bearing your all for money. Ugh. Enough to put me off my lunch. Anyway, folks, that was just a by the way. I got some ginger and lemon tea for my throat here. It's yogi tea. Oh, it's nice. From Amazon. It came in a big box of about 8 little boxes, I think, for about £16. It's nice. Anyhow, that was a little bit of my story, and of course I will be telling you about, how we got on, how we got ahead, how we fell back, how I fell back, and chat to you. But before I do anything about teenage pregnancies, I wanted to tell you about my own, and that's just a little bit about my own teenage pregnancies. I'll be back later on. Bye-bye.